Can you really be unprofitable with Facebook ads and still be profitable overall with your brand? Well, today I'm actually gonna be showing you how you can spend more on Facebook, not worry anymore about the ROAS specifically on Facebook, but still hit your overall profit numbers and still be profitable with your brand. So before we get started, if you're new to the channel, my name is Nick Theriot, done over $50 million in online revenue with Facebook ads for my clients. Make YouTube videos completely to help you, educate you, and teach you marketing. And if you're curious how you can work with me, click the link below to where I can run your Facebook ads for you or mentor you depending on what specifically you want. Now, before we get started, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button for new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That being said, let's dive into the video and get started. So break-even CPA and lifetime value scaling. It's been a very requested video over just the last couple months, specifically on my channel, of how you can actually, find your break-even CPA on lifetime value as well, and actually scale with lifetime value in mind. So you're basically can spend significantly more on Facebook faster and not be so worried if you're doing a 2x or 2.5x ROAS on Facebook, or you can actually maybe do a little bit lower, 1.5, but still be profitable overall. Okay, so we're gonna be diving into that. First off, let's just start off with break-even CPA on the first time customer purchase. So essentially what you wanna do is just go ahead and get your product sell price. So let's just say, for example, we're selling these headphones right here and they cost $59. So then I'm just gonna put that $59. Again, that's what you're selling it for. Okay. Now, let's say, for example, the cost of goods, how much I have to pay for one pair of headphones, like what it costs me, $26. Okay. Now, shipping, how much does it cost me to ship to the customer? Okay. That's $4.95. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take our cost of goods, we're going to add it to our shipping to get our total expenses, just, tied to that order, not overall like, warehouse fees and things like that. Just overall, what it costs for that one specific product, okay? And our product sell price. And we're gonna divide the two. So 26 plus 495 divided by $59. And that's gonna give us a 0.52. So 52% of that $59 right there is expenses per order, okay? Now we're gonna do just one literally for everyone. 1 minus 0.52, which is gonna be 0.48. which is our profit margin, okay? You can also turn that 0.48 into a percentage. And now that's 48%, okay? 48% of every order we sell is profit for us, okay? Now we're gonna do 1 divided by 0.48, which will give us a break-even ROAS of 2.08, okay? Now we know our break-even ROAS, okay? That's what it's gonna take to basically break even on an order with Facebook ads, okay? Now I'm not gonna lie, that's fairly high right there. I typically like to work with products in around a 70% profit margin, but that's pretty high. So, that's definitely going to be a little bit more troubling to scale with that particular client if they don't have LTV dialed into their brand. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to look at break-even CPA. So if I take that profit margin of 0.48 and I take our product sell price of $59, and I simply multiply it, $59 times 0.48, that's $28.32. So we have $28.32 per order. So that's the most I can potentially spend with ads to break even on ad spend, shipping, and cost of goods. Okay. Now, key thing here is that's just to break even. If I want to be profitable, I need a lower break-even CPA. So if I want $14 of profit per order after ads, I would have to get a CPA of literally $14 for someone to buy this pair of headphones. Okay. So that's our break-even CPA on first customer. Okay. Just what's the key thing here? First order. All right. Now we're going to look at the lifetime value of each customer we acquire. Okay. So just pick a time range. I like to look at 12 months. 12 months is a really good range. I think that's what everyone should start and look at. Okay. So 12 months. Okay. What you want to do is you want to take your total customers from Klaviyo, and it's very simple. Just go to Klaviyo, go ahead, do a new segment, 2022 customers. What has someone done? And that's placed an order at least once. Okay, that's the key thing, once between dates, and then the time range. I chose to get in 12 months. Okay, now what that's going to do is that's going to give me a list of customers. Okay, I'm not looking for people who are subscribed to my email list. I'm looking for people who have placed an order at least once. Okay, and that's 18,858 members. Okay, that's not 18,858 orders. That's just 18,858 people that have purchased from our brand. Okay, that's the key thing there. That's what you have to really remember. So total customers from Klaviyo, 18,858. Now, if you're not on Klaviyo, you can use whatever email software you have and just figure out the same way to do the same. Okay. Now, total Shopify revenue, we had over that same range. Okay, so the total Shopify revenue needs to be over the exact same time range that we did this. So between January 1st, 2022, all the way to December 31st, 2022. And for Shopify, that was just last year. For this particular brand we're working with, we did $1.9 million for them. Okay, so if we go back right here, we're gonna put that time in, boom, that revenue, boom. Okay, so now we're gonna take our total Shopify revenue, 1.9 million, and we're gonna divide it by the total customers over that time range. Again, that's also another key thing right here, is that what someone has done, and that's placed an order at least once. Because if we do just customers over this time range, it might include some customers outside of that, and we wanna make sure it's placed order. Okay, so just make sure we key on there. Okay, this will give us a 12-month lifetime value of $101. Okay, now again, 12-month LTV because that's the time range we did. If I did 3 months, over this right here, if I did 3 months, last 3 months, then it'll be a 3-month LTV. Okay, so just be sure on that right there. I could also do one maybe 24 months, 36 months, depending on how long the brand is. I always recommend at least doing one where you go as far as you can, then do another for 12-month LTV, then another for 3 month, and another one for 2 month. So we have 4 different points to look at. So yeah, so now we know what our LTV of customer is $101. Our first time purchase is $59. So that's really good. That looks really good for this particular brand. Okay. Now we're going to look at first time customer CPA and lifetime value CPA. So we looked at first time customer CPA at the beginning of this video. Now we're gonna start looking at first time lifetime value CPA. Okay, so let's look at it right here. If we take our 12-month LTV and we know we have an average profit margin of about 48% per order, then it's not perfect. Because say, for example, if the first product, let's say, for example, the first product is a physical product with like a 30% profit margin, and then someone purchases 12 times again from you, and it's all digital products with 0 expenses tied to it, that's not, it wouldn't work perfectly. So now for this particular brand, I know that they're purchasing the same product over and over because they subscribe and save. So that's also something to keep in mind. If they purchase in their first order and the purchase in LTV, if it's drastically different, you really need to know the average profit margin on the products that they purchase after. And that's the cool thing about a lot of stores is most of them are generally around the same. Okay, so 48%, I'm gonna do $101, our LTV, times 0.48, our profit margin, which comes out to $48.48. Okay, so now I know that we have a profit of per customer we acquire of $48 over 12 months. Okay, now break-even CPA, $48.48 for break-even CPA on an LTV perspective. Okay, now I want to look at something else. Let's say we want to look at first-time customer CPA and lifetime value. Okay, so again, if one customer is worth to us $48 in terms of profit over 12 months, then how does that completely stack up? So let's take our 12-month LTV of $101, and let's take our first order AOV. Again, first order AOV, boom. And let's go ahead and do our break-even CPA on first order. So again, we spend $28. We break even on that first order. Okay, break-even ROAS 2.10. Now, our 12-month return on ad spend though is 3.56. Why? Because we are spending $28 to, yes, first order $59, which would be a 2.10 ROAS, but that customer is worth $101 to us in gross revenue over 12 months. So $101 divided by $28 is 3.56. So yes, day one doesn't look that hot and that sexy, but over 12 months, that customer becomes more valuable to us. Okay, so that's why we can afford to scale at a lower ad spend on Facebook and make that profit on later on. Now, the way this works is that you start doing that today and you start getting customers to purchase again from you today. That's how they balance each other out. Okay, so let's go a bit further into this. Let's look at break even on lifetime value CPA. So it's gonna be completely different. Okay, so let's take our 12-month LTV of $101 and take our first order AOV of $59. Now let's do our break even CPA on lifetime value. Okay, again, break-even CPA would just be the profit from that lifetime value, okay, which is $48.32. We saw that all the way up here. Let's see, where is that at? Okay, yeah, right here. Break-even lifetime value, $48.48. Again, that's total profit. So if we can acquire a customer for $8, then we make $40 in profit over the year for that lifetime value. Okay, so our first order return on ad spend could be a 1.22. Now, because again, we're doing a break even not on CPA or AOV, we're doing a break even on lifetime value. Okay, so if we want to break even on lifetime value, then we know on our first order, we can afford a 1.22 return on ad spend. Okay, now our 12-month return on ad spend will be 2.09. Okay, so if over 12 months, we'll do about a 2x ROAS on that particular prospect. And then we, on our day one order, we'll do about a 1.22. Okay. So if we're getting a 1.22x on Facebook right now, we know that over 12 months, that customer worth 2.09 to us, okay, in terms of ROAS, which is not the greatest thing to look at, but I'm just giving you guys examples here, okay? So let's just recap that really quick. Break-even CPA on first order, we went over that. We went over how to find your lifetime value. Then we looked over how to find the break-even CPA on lifetime value. So now you should have two numbers in your head. For our particular example, we have about $28 to break even on our first order, and then we have $48 to break even on lifetime value. So we can accept the CPA anywhere between $28 to $48 at worst. And then obviously the goal would be to get it down lower, but also too, when we start wanting to get it down lower, we put more stress on the performance of Facebook. And your ultimate goal is to try to remove as much stress and much reliance on Facebook and to improve those numbers overall, like lifetime value. So when do you want to make your money back? Because I talked a lot about break-even points and not profit. So you don't necessarily make any profit here if you're hitting a 48, like you will not profit $1 if you acquire a customer for $48. You will not acquire $1 from them over 12 months from a profit standpoint. Okay. But you do want to make profit sometime. That's the key here. It's like, yes, you can be unprofitable on Facebook ads, but profit overall and rapidly grow your brand a lot faster. Or, you can be profitable now, but significantly slow down the pace of which you can scale your brand. Okay. Now, something to look at though is you do need to be profitable at some point. All right. You do have to make some profits. So that's when customer cohorts come in play. Okay. This is the customer cohort for this specific brand that I'm talking about right now. And you can see right here over January of 2022. And basically the cohorts is basically like if I acquire a customer in January, here's how those lifetime value of each customer looks like. Whereas, it's January 2023. It's still month 0, but look at a significant difference. In month 0 of January 2022, a customer's worth $58 to us. In January 2023, they're worth about $74.23. Okay. So in this particular case right here, we can look at it and be like, okay, at what month do we want to be profitable? Okay. And also too, does LTV also improve? Because if LTV dropped, or just stayed stagnant throughout the year, then that's a big problem. But I know if I acquire a customer, this also shows the CPAs right here that we're currently hitting on this particular brand. If I acquire a customer for, let's just say $58, which would be a little bit less than break even, or like a little bit over break even in terms of like not profitable. I know that, month 2 and 3, we can aim to be profitable in that month right there because we'll be making more than what we spent on that CPA. Okay. So then you can just rerun these numbers with what break-even CPAs on a month 2 and things like that come in play. So what you would want to do here is that, like in the example at the beginning, I chose 12 months. Okay. 12 months. We looked at the 12-month break-even CPA for a customer we acquire. Well, let's aim to break even the first 2 months. So then what I would do is I would essentially just go change the time range. I'd redo everything I did in the beginning for a lifetime value. And I would look at, okay, instead of 12 months, let's do this with 60 days or 90 days. And then I would find my LTV at 60 days, which for this particular brand is about $76. And then I would look at 90 days, which for this particular brand is $81. Okay. Then obviously over 12 months is about $114 over 12 months. Okay. So what you would want to do here is you would want to find those break-even CPAs and be like, okay, and some of you guys might not even have lifetime value because you've done not the greatest job at building retention into your business. And that's totally okay, because now your new problem becomes we need to work on retention, not customer acquisition. Okay. So let's say, for example, or just going back to this, what you would want to do is find your 2-month, your 3-month lifetime value, and then your 12-month, and then shoot for when do you want to like start becoming profitable. So we're going to break even on month 2, and then anything after month 2 becomes profit for us. Okay. We'll break even with a $76 LTV. Then anything after the $76 LTV becomes profitable for the business. Okay. And again, that's just want to go through all these steps again, except change the time range. That's it. Same thing here, go through this again, but change the time range. We did 12-month LTV for, the break-even CPAs and stuff like that for LTV. But now do it for 3-month, do it for 2-month. Okay. Figure what those look like for that. Okay. And ultimately at the end of the day, all this is going to allow you to do is be more aggressive with spend on Facebook and allow for a lower ROAS. So let's say, for example, right now you're doing a 3X right now. You're spending $1,000 a day and you're, doing a 3X return on ads. Okay. Spend 1,000, make 3,000 back, but you're struggling. Every time you increase spend, it starts to really like drop performance. Okay. Now look, don't get me wrong. You can find you some new winning ads and things like that, which will help you and you likely break through revenue barriers. But if you dialed in your LTV and was like, well, wait, I don't need a 3X ROAS on day 1. I just need a 3X ROAS by like day 30 or day 60. Then you can focus more on LTV, and then you can see what you could afford on your day 1 purchase that's not necessarily a 3. And that means you can go right in your ad account now and scale up to, whatever number, as long as you're hitting that CPA. Let's just say it's a $50 CPA at 2X ROAS is your break-even point. Then go spend as much as you can until you start hitting that without changing a single thing in that account. Literally just going to adjust budget. Boom. That's the cool thing about this. So we are still being dominant and really hitting hard on our psychology-based creatives and really breaking through revenue barriers for our clients. But when you get this down, this allows us to even spend more. And like Russell Brunson says, the one who can spend the most at the end of the day to acquire a customer will always win. And that is 100% true, especially with Facebook ads becoming more expensive. If you don't have retention in place, you are going to get blown out the water. Okay. Blown out the water. And your brand will suffer. But if you don't take retention seriously, you are going to be miles ahead behind the competition. Okay. Retention needs to be taken seriously in your business. Yes, first time customer is great, but retention is the second biggest thing that needs to, that's what's going to, if you literally go in your ad account, turn off all your ads, you cannot spend another dollar on advertising, SEO, organic, or anything like that. All right. You can only email and SMS your existing customers. How would you make the money? Spend 30 minutes after this video. After this video is over, turn it off, pause, turn off your computer, blah, blah, blah. Write down on a piece of paper, if I could only run my business with existing customers, that's the key there. I can only use my customers right now to stay in business. How would I do it? You cannot spend another dollar on Facebook. You can't post another YouTube video. You can't go anything else. You can only email and SMS your existing customers. That is it. How could you continue to thrive as a business? Well, you would have to launch new products unless you have a product that's already good. But for the most part, people are going to want new products. So what new products would you launch? What new innovations you can make? Things like that. That's going to improve your business. Okay. So if you're struggling to improve lifetime value of a customer, then I honestly only want you to study one brand. I could give you a million examples, but I only want you to study one brand, and that's Apple, because Apple did an amazing job with horizontally scaling and vertically scaling. Okay. And I know I'm gonna make this because it's also gonna make sense for you. Okay. So Apple horizontally and vertically scaled their lifetime value of each customer. Okay. And I'm gonna show you how. Horizontally, they created new product lines. They have the MacBook Pro, which almost every year comes out a new one. The iPhone, which almost every year comes with a new one. They have the Mac Pro, which is like that trash can thing that, just desktop version. And then you have the iPad, okay, which almost comes out every year as well. So they release all these new products. And I mean, look at me. I'm sitting with a MacBook Pro, an iPad. I have Apple headphones. I have Apple, Magic Mouse Pad. I have an Apple keyboard. I have Apple iPhone. I have a lot of different Apple products in that sense right there. So I bought many of their products, okay? But here's where it gets funny. They also vertically scaled me because not only did I buy all their products, but I've also bought the iPhone 4, I bought the iPhone 5, I bought the iPhone 6, I bought the iPhone 7, and I'm on the iPhone 13 right now. I'm about to go buy an iPhone 14. So I purchased 10 of their iPhones, which 10 of their iPhones and about $1,000, you know, anywhere from like $500 or $600 to $1,000 per iPhone that I spent. I've almost spent $10,000 just on iPhones. Okay, so Apple's like, cool, as long as we acquire a customer for at least $2,000. Imagine that. We can acquire a customer for $2,000. We'll break even on iPhone, or we'll be profitable on iPhone. Okay, now that's not to mention the $4,000 MacBook Pro I bought, the $1,000 iPad I bought, the $600 I spent on the little, you know, AirPods, the $300 I spent on just accessories and stuff like that. I mean, I've spent almost $16,000 with Apple. That's the lifetime value of Nick Theriot with Apple. Okay, so Apple's like, all right, if I acquire more Nicks, well, you know, and again, they're doing this same exact way where they're taking all their customers, total revenue, and figuring out the value of each customer. So that way they can actually determine how much they can spend on advertising and break even and on the first purchase, or maybe break even. Like they might be break even on the third iPhone you buy, and they don't care because now they can spend a fuckload on advertising and be the one at the end of the day that can spend the most to acquire a customer and win. So I really hope you guys take this video seriously, because all of our brands who did not take this seriously get washed out the water, just get destroyed in the competition. And we hound people. We hound our brands very hard on the retention, but ultimately at the end of the day, we can't do it for them. We give them ideas, we show them what to do, but we can't go make the order and tell the brand and tell the manufacturer what we want. Ultimately, that comes down to them. Okay, we can do a lot of research, we can help them, we give them a lot of good ideas, but other than that, that's it. Okay, now we do have brands that consistently, you know, horizontally and vertically scale their brands in terms of product lines and products itself. We also have brands that understand these principles, and like, you know, I spend anywhere from 80 to 100 grand a month on this one particular brand, and we literally do a 1x ROAS on Facebook. And guess what? They're doing a 3.5x ROAS overall, and their break-even ROAS is like 1.7. Okay, so they're very profitable, doing $500,000 to $700,000 a month in revenue. Okay, so this is a very important lesson that I hope all brands understand. It's gonna be even more important in 2023 going into the year, and I hope you value this video. So again, if you're curious about anything we do, if you spend over $50 million with Facebook, or we've done over $50 million in revenue with Facebook ads, click the link below to, you know, work with my agency and have Nick run your ads essentially, or have Nick coach you and mentor you. There's also a link for that as well. Make sure the like button, hit that subscribe button for new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. My name is Nick Theriot. Talk to you guys later. Peace out.